Football, baseball, basketball, and even hockey are all part of today's top 5 cards. But what card is going up the most? We're going to let you know next. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another Top 5 Tuesday. I hope all of you have been enjoying the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. They have been absolutely wild. I don't know who's going to win. Do you know who is going to win? Hopefully you do. Because if you're right on that, buy their cards, because those cards are probably going to go up. But I think both are pretty wide open. It's going to be exciting to see how these playoffs turn out here in the weeks ahead. But today, let's talk about what's going on in the card market, what cards have been going up the most, because a lot of cards have been going up over the last week. And of course, today's Top 5 is sponsored by Whatnot. And hey, special announcement, I will be going live on Whatnot tomorrow night, Wednesday night, on Cards HQ Shop on Whatnot from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are doing a box and pack sale blowout. So if you want some good deals on boxes and packs, you need to get over to Cards HQ Shop's Whatnot tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to put a QR code on the screen and a link in the show description below. If you've never gone on to Whatnot before, scan that QR code or use the link, and we're going to give you $15 free that you can use towards our auction tomorrow night. So once again, packs and boxes, Cards HQ Shop tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Use that link for $15 free towards it, and I will see you there. But okay, let's get started with our hot cards of the week, and we're going to start by taking a quick look at the overall sports card market with the Market Pulse by Market Movers. Over the last 7 days, the SCI 500 index of 500 of the most prominent sports cards down a bit, still up over the last 30 days, still up quite a bit since January 1st of this year. It's actually football cards from 2018 through 2020, which are bringing the index down a little bit right now. That's kind of interesting. We're in a little bit of a lull period right now with football. The draft already happened, so we had some cards move after the draft, but now that's a few weeks behind us. And now we got some time to go until training camps open and preseason and everything like that. So the football card market at this very moment is a little soft. It certainly will get hot as we get into the summer, particularly as we get into the later part of the summer. So if you're thinking about investing in any football cards for this season, now might be your best window to buy. Pay attention to that. But now let's talk about the cards that are going up and down the most. It is time for today's Top 5. We're starting today with a cold card, as we do every week, because it's a reminder that sometimes the hot cards featured on this program can quickly turn cold. And this is a tough one to see on the cold list. It is Jordan Travis, the former quarterback of the New York Jets, of course, the former Florida State Seminole. Now, look, I am a Florida Gator, so I never cheered for Jordan Travis when he was in college with Florida State. But I also never wanted to see his career end the way that it just ended. Jordan Travis was a 2024 fifth-round pick by the New York Jets, but he recently announced his retirement from football at the age of 24. And this comes 17 months after he suffered a severe leg injury back in college. He had a standout run at Florida State. He really was good. He set multiple school records, and he led the Seminoles to an undefeated regular season in 2023, but unfortunately, that severe leg injury absolutely derailed his career, and it was one that he was never able to fully recover from, and now he is no longer going to play football. So you can imagine, unfortunately, what that means to his card prices. Let's take a look here in Market Movers, and these are 5 of Jordan Travis's rookie cards from 2024, starting with his Optic Preview Red Pandora. We're going to look at that in PSA 10. We're also going to look at his 2024 Prism Laser in raw condition, his 2024 Prism Silver. We're going to look at that one both in PSA 10 and in raw condition, and then his 2024 Prism Rookie Autograph Silver. We'll look at that in raw condition as well, and unfortunately, all of these really taking a beating since the retirement news. Over the last 30 days, these cards are down anywhere from 43% down all the way at 76% negative. Man, his Optic Preview Red Pandora in PSA 10 has dropped from $36 down to around $20. His Prism Laser Raw, that was only a $4 card, but now it's only a $1 card. His Prism Silver PSA 10 was a $99 card 30 days ago. and now it's selling for only around $28 as of the last sale. Man, that is a quick $71 haircut on that card in 30 days. His Prism Silver Raw has dropped from around $6 down to now it's just $1. And even his Prism Rookie Autograph Silver, that was about a $20 card. Last sale on that is under $10. And unfortunately, these are probably only going to drop further. I feel bad for any of you right now who are holding Jordan Travis cards. But now let's talk about cards going up, and we're starting with our investment card of the weekend. This week, it is a hockey investment card. It is no other than Ray Bourque, the defenseman for the Boston Bruins for many, many years. He was with Boston from 1979 through 2000, and then he played with the Colorado Avalanche for a year as well. Ray Bourque is widely regarded as one of the greatest defensemen in NHL history, celebrated for his elite skill, his leadership, and his remarkable consistency over his 22-season career. And with 21 of those seasons being with the Boston Bruins, he became the franchise's longest-serving captain, and he set team records for games played, assists, and points. Bourque is a 5-time Norris Trophy winner and a 19-time All-Star, and was one of the league's most decorated players throughout his career. In pursuit of a long, elusive championship, he was traded at the end of his career to the Colorado Avalanche in March of 2000, and guess what? He was able to cap his career off with the Stanley Cup in 2001. That is a fairy tale ending to Bourque's career, and his cards have been doing some fairy tale things in the market over the last year. Let's take a look at market movers, and we're going to look at Bourque's 1980 Topps rookie card. Now, this is a pretty rare card in high condition, right? Because in PSA 10, the population, as you can see here in market movers on that card, is just 7. So if you want a Ray Bourque rookie card in PSA 10, there's only 7 copies out there that were ever graded that. In PSA 9, the population's 150, so actually still relatively rare compared to certain cards today. In PSA 8, population of 610, and in PSA 7, population of 519. But it really doesn't matter which one of these cards you have because they're all up a bit over the last year. Not the PSA 10 because there was only one sale of that. That one recently sold for $8,700 when that came to auction just recently within about the last week or so. So a very high sale on that card at $8,700. But the PSA 9, there's been more sales of, and over the last year, that one has jumped from $319 up to $500. The PSA 8 over the last year has jumped from around $77 up to $165. And the PSA 7 has jumped from around $36 up to $60. So if you're holding any Ray Bourque, it's been a good year for his cards. But now let's talk about players playing today. And in the number 5 spot, it is Arch Manning, the quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. Now, Arch Manning is entering the 2025 college football season with immense attention and high expectations. He was the backup last year, but this next season, he's going to step into the starting role for the Texas Longhorns. In the little bit of action he had last season, he showed flashes of potential. He threw for 939 yards and 10 touchdowns, completing almost 68% of his passes. But this season, he is entering as the Heisman Trophy favorite. And the Longhorns are the front runners to win the SEC title. That is a lot of expectations on a young quarterback. But with all of those expectations comes a lot of attention on his cards. And if you look here in Market Movers, his cards are going up. This is Arch Manning's 2024 Prism Draft Picks green card in raw condition, his rated prospect card. This is his 2024 Prism Draft Picks Red Ice. This one we're going to look at in PSA 10, the last one in raw. This one we're going to look at the silver version of this card. We're going to look at this one in raw condition from 2024 Prism Draft Picks. All three of these cards up a good amount. In fact, they're up anywhere between 40% and 90% over the last 30 days. The green variation raw has jumped from around $34 up to about $50. The Red Ice PSA 10 has jumped from $150 up to $285. And this silver raw has jumped from around $50 to around $70. Now, where do Arch Manning's cards prices go from here? It's all going to come down to if he and Texas can live up to those very high expectations this season. Let's go to baseball for the number 4 card today, and it is Leo DeVries, the shortstop prospect for the San Diego Padres. DeVries is an 18-year-old shortstop in the San Diego Padres organization that is rapidly emerging as one of baseball's top prospects. This season with the Padres High A affiliate, DeVries is batting .288 with 4 home runs and 21 RBIs. And on April 22nd, DeVries delivered a historic performance by hitting for the cycle, including 2 home runs and 8 RBIs in a single game. So of course you can bet that baseball prospectors are out buying DeVries' cards right now, thinking that he's going to have a bright future in the majors sometime down the road, and that is causing his card prices to shoot up. And here are 4 of DeVries' 2024 Bowman cards and market movers. This is his 2024 Bowman Chrome First Prospect Auto. We're going to look at that one in raw condition. This is his 2024 Bowman Chrome First Prospect card, non-auto. We're going to look at that in PSA 10 condition. We're also going to look at the Mega Box Mojo Refractor version of that card in PSA 10 condition. And then finally, from 2024 Bowman's Best, let's look at his Best of 2024 autographs in raw condition. All of these moving up nicely. In fact, over the last 30 days, all of these up from anywhere from about 26% to about 39%. His 2024 Bowman Chrome Prospect First Auto in raw condition has jumped from $113 to $157 over the last 30 days. His 2024 Bowman Chrome Prospects PSA 10 non-auto has jumped from around $23 to about $31 in the last 30 days. The Mojo Megabox Refractor version of that's jumped from $38 to $48 in PSA 10. And then the 2024 Bowman's Best of 2024 autographs in raw condition has jumped from $27 to $36 over the last 30 days. Let's go back to hockey for the number 3 card today, and it is Mikko Rantanen, the right wing for the Dallas Stars. Now, the Stars have advanced to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs for a 3rd consecutive year, bolstered by the stellar performances of Mikko Rantanen. He was acquired in a blockbuster trade with the Carolina Hurricanes in March of 2025 and quickly became a pivotal part of the Stars' offense. In fact, in the 2025 playoffs, Rantanen leads all players with 18 points, 9 goals, and 9 assists through 10 games. And notably, Rantanen made NHL history by recording back-to-back hat tricks, one in Game 7 against one of his former teams, the Colorado Avalanche, and then another in Game 1 of the second-round series against the Winnipeg Jets. Let's take a look here in Market Movers, where you can guess it, his cards are going crazy. And specifically, we're going to look at Rantanen's 2015 Upper Deck Young Guns base card. We're going to look at that in PSA 10, Raw, and PSA 9. And then we're also going to look at his 2015 SP Authentic Future Watch Auto card. We're going to look at that one in PSA 10 and in raw condition. Look at that chart. All of these cards sailing to the moon over the course of the last month. It's great to see. These cards are up anywhere between 5% and 126%. The PSA 10 of Rantanen's 2015 Upper Deck Young Guns base card has jumped from $95 to $215 over the last 30 days. In raw condition, it jumped from $22 to $41, and in PSA 9 from $30 all the way up to about $65. And then his SP Authentic Future Watch Auto PSA 10 has jumped from $581 to $610, and in raw has jumped from $163 to $200. Those are some nice increases in just 30 days. It is time for some basketball on today's list, and it is time for Tyrese Haliburton, the number 2 hot card of the week, and for good reason. Tyrese Haliburton continues to be a pivotal force for the Indiana Pacers during the 2025 NBA playoffs. He's had some big-time performances against the Cavaliers in the current series, including a game-winning shot back in Game 2 on a night when he scored 19 points. Now, this is all good redemption work for Haliburton because it was this season that he was labeled the most overrated player in the NBA by a player poll. However, Haliburton is proving those players wrong. He has remained unfazed and maybe used it as fuel as he is now helping the Pacers come close to closing out the Cavaliers. They may get that done and they may advance to the conference finals. And if they do, Haliburton will continue to play a critical role in that team's opportunity for success. Well, his cards are doing pretty critical things as well in the market. I got 6 of his cards up here in Market Movers. We're going to look at these individually. Let's start with Haliburton's 2020 Prism Silver in PSA 10. That is what you see on the screen right now. That card is up almost 50%. Most recently sold for $273. Actually sold for as little as $156. if you go back just a few weeks ago. So that card is up a ton. Let's look at his Optic Holo in PSA 10. This one most recently sold for $70. It's up about 40% over the last 30 days. Sold for as low as $46 if you go back a few weeks ago. How about his Prism Base in PSA 10? Most recently sold for around $39. That card sold for as little as $19 if you go back just a few weeks ago. So that one's up nicely as well. How about his 2020 Prism Draft Picks Downtown in PSA 10? Most recent sale on that, $255. That one up about 7% over the last 30 days. How about his 2020 Revolution Rookie Autographs card in raw condition? Most recently sold for $100. Just a week ago, you could have picked that card up for $67. So that one's been moving up quickly. And then finally, on the high end, how about Tyrese Halliburton's 2020 Flawless Vertical Patch Autograph, number to 25 in PSA 10. Recent sale of that card at $5,670. And that is up from just $5,150 just a few weeks ago. That is a 10% increase, an increase of over $500 in just a couple of weeks on that high-end Tyrese Halliburton card. All right, it is time for today's number one card, but before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts and graphs from this program are from Market Movers. Market Movers is the ultimate way to track everything going on in the sports card market, to track your collection, and to comp cards. And you can check it out for free. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com and click Market Movers in the main menu bar. Or go onto the App Store on your phone, search for Market Movers, and download the Market Movers app right now. I think you are going to love Market Movers. And I think you're going to love this week's number one card. Are you ready for it? It is no other than Pete Crow Armstrong, the center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, takes the number one spot on today's list. Pete Crow Armstrong is making major strides in his second full Major League Baseball season with the Cubs. He's displaying a dynamic mix of power, speed, and elite defense, cementing his role as a cornerstone of the franchise's future. And recently, Crow Armstrong joined Elite Company, becoming one of just 3 players alongside Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Tucker to record both 10 home runs and 10 stolen bases before mid-May of this season. So that type of play for such a young player is a mix for card prices to explode. Guess what's happening? Let's take a look here at Market Movers and I'll show you what's happening. I've got Pete Crow Armstrong's 2020 Bowman Draft Sapphire Edition on the screen in PSA 10. I've also got his 2021 Bowman Mega Box Chrome Prospect Auto Mojo Refractor in raw condition on the screen. I also have his 2024 Topps Home Field Advantage Raw on the screen, and finally his 2024 Topps Chrome Rookie Autograph Raw on the screen as well. You can't go wrong with any of these or any other Pete Crow Armstrong card that you might have, because these are all moving nice and steadily up in the market over the last 30 days. In fact, these are up anywhere between 62% and 164%. How about his 2020 Bowman Draft Chrome first card in PSA 10? 30 days ago, you could have snagged it for around $45. Today, you could sell it for around $120. That is quite the increase over the last 30 days. How about his 2021 Bowman Mega Box Chrome Mojo Refractor Raw Condition? You could have got that 30 days ago for around $47. You could sell it today for around $87. His 2024 Topps Home Field Advantage Raw, 30 days ago, around $32. Today, around $52. And then finally, his 2024 Topps Chrome Rookie Autograph in raw condition. Get ready for this. 30 days ago, you could have bought that card for around $69. Today, you could sell it for around $175. What increases on Pete Crow Armstrong's cards? Well deserving of the number one spot on today's list. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please like, please subscribe, go get Market Movers, and then don't forget to join me tomorrow on Whatnot. I'm going to toss that QR code on the screen one more time and that link below for the box and pack blowout sale, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Cards HQ Shop on Whatnot. Scan that code or click the link to get $15 free if you're a first-timer on Whatnot towards that stream. Thanks for watching. See you there. Take care.